review this game. Sicilian defense, c3. C3 is not common, so white should push the d pawn immediately. The problem with c3 is it blocks the knight, blocks the c3 knight. So black can keep develop pieces like this. It's a very good plan. And white is a little slowed down in piece development. And also if you look at f6 and if you push the d4, you will lose e4 basically. You cannot protect the e4 pawn with the knight. So g6, and I think black should play knight f6. If d4, we can win the e4 pawn. One thing to remind that is if bishop to e2, this is a very common trap. Now we cannot win the pawn because you will lose the knight with this fork. But on the other hand, we can like g6, king g7 and castle. Once your king moves to a safe place, you can take the e4 pawn. So we move g6, bishop to b5, take, bishop g7, d4. White start to control the center. Knight f6, e5. This move is, I will move the rook to e1 and later move the pawn to e5. And the reason is, if we move the pawn and black take that, what would you like take the pawn back? If you take that with the pawn, and the knight can move to d5 because the e4 pawn is not there anymore. And the knight is moved to the center, and knight c6, and we castle. Imagine we have a rook at e1, we can move the pawn to e6 to break through the pawn structure of the king side of the back pieces. But in this case, we cannot move the pawn to e6. And as I said, black can develop pieces and move pieces towards the center. So if knight takes the pawn, so black can move the queen to c7, and later after the pawn exchange, or after castling, knight c6, after the pawn exchange, so there will be an isolated pawn that the bishop can attack. So white will have a less strong center as remaining the pawn at e4. So white can move rook e1, and when we feel ready, we can push the e pawn. So in this game, we take the pawn, knight g4, and we want to attack the e5. But can we really win the pawn? Maybe bishop f4. The bishop can protect the pawn. Okay, white take the queen, so I think white should move the bishop to f4. And this exchange favors black because it only helps black move the knight or develop knight to a good position. Take, knight d2, b6, rook d1, knight d5, rook d5. After black win the pawn, black is better in the endgame, castle, move the rook out, that's good. Rook c1. Ooh, this is a mistake. I think, yeah, I mean, white can move the king to e2 to support the rook at the d file. This is only open file. I mean, black is better, but it still takes some effort, like for black to win the game. But rook c2 is a mistake, and black win the game. So actually, if I play white, I would gradually move the king out. So that's it.